Peace, fam. This is your brother Maul, the other Maul, hitting you with an extra special segment today. Still Tom about it, right? This is an extra segment where we take those sideline conversations and those little tangent conversations and it's turned into its own thing. It got a life all its own. Sometimes the conversation is that good, whatever you're sipping on is that good, whatever you're smoking on is that good, but the conversation get extra better, so we added an extra segment because we still talking about it.
Yeah, a lot of
Right.
shit.
I ain't even mean to get in that whole conversation. I was just talking about some other shit on some but I don't know.
It's easy to fall. It's easy to fall into that. I wouldn't say rabbit hole, but it's easy to fall into that combo because for one angle it's thrown in your face, but it's thrown in your face. To me, the more I pay attention to it, the more I see it as just another distraction thrown in our face. Like I really do. And see, because a lot of times the people who are going through that are not the ones that are having this combo. It's other people that feel like they're fighting for their rights, if that makes sense. Or it's other
like
people,
fighting on behalf of other people.
yeah, that didn't ask for you to do this. Like a lot of times, you know what I mean? Sometimes I could be wrong because I don't pay attention to the combo. It's just confusing, you know what I mean? And like I said, it just seems more like a distraction, bro. Like everything just seems like a fucking distraction to me now. Like I don't know, it should get depressing, bro.
James Baldwin, baby. James Baldwin.
Yep. What?
Be a black man.
James Baldwin said to be woke is a constant state of, what did he say, anger or some shit? I forgot exactly.
Yeah. To be black in America is to be in a constant state of like anger, something like that.
Yeah, some shit like that. I have to look it up, but
I mean, but not to belittle a fight or white. I mean, not to belittle our fight or whatever, but it's like life is a fucking fight. Life is a fight. You know what I mean? It is. And that kind of go with the whole. A lot of times we belittle our own, I guess, struggles and strife that we're going through. Not talking about black people, just talking about individuals. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of times myself, I say either I can't complain or it could be worse. So it kind of belittles what you're
But
going
it can though. It can always get worse. Huh?
Yeah, and that's what a lot of times that will keep your head up. But sometimes maybe that's what you're like, well, it could be worse, so I ain't gonna put so much attention into changing this. Because it could be worse. That's all right. It ain't that bad. It could be worse. Well, you know what I mean? You really that might prolong what's going on, if that makes sense.
I see what you're saying. But I think that's a question of like trying to discern what we give our energy to. Because I think what you do is a good thing because it gives perspective. It gives perspective. It gives you a certain acceptance of the world and the way it is. You know, it's a very kind of stoic way of looking at stuff. Like it could be worse. Like there's this stoic quote that's like, you don't have to make this a thing. You know, like it doesn't have to become something like bigger. You know what I'm saying? And I think I don't think it always belittles. I think it puts stuff into perspective. You know, like everything doesn't deserve hell of attention. And like what you say as far as a distraction, so much seems like a distraction because nothing really has like an end goal. And a lot of stuff doesn't even follow like a certain logic or rule. It just becomes a lot of chaos, you know, which is very distracting, right? Mm-hmm. It has an origin, like it has a cause, like a very loose cause of like justice, right? But there's no, I don't want to say rhyme or reason, but there's no like plan, strategy, or end goal. And there's a lot of circle talk. And then it makes you just go, man, whatever, you know? Like when I talk about black people stuff, like I always say, we got to have some kind of strategy because just yelling at folks are just like, we can't look goofy. If we think we in Jumanji and we in the war, we can't be out here being goofy. We got to like get together, have some kind of rules, have some kind of plan, you know? But everybody's all over the place. And then on one hand, people want to do a bunch of goofy shit online, but then they want to be taken seriously by people who never liked you anyway. And you think like this shit doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, I don't think it belittles, man. I think it's a thing that it's good for perspective. You know, like I look at it like we're I think us on some social justice shit is going backwards.
Mm.
Like that whole disrespectful, like I'm not my ancestor shit. I'm like, we have more privileges and more freedoms and more justice than what they had decades ago. Of course, it ain't perfect, but one, we're in America. Two, nothing is ever going to be perfect. You know, all we can do is push to make it more perfect or to make it better and more equitable. So we're always going to have something we're pushing for as far as to make things more fair. But it's like we're the generation that came out with microaggressions, right? Where the previous generation got fucking hosed and they were called boy, which is a damn aggression, and they got dog sick on them, which is a real aggression. And now we write poems and 1,500 word think piece articles and make these big statements that somebody looked at me and that was violence and I can't work for the week kind of shit. Like that shit looks soft, you know? And I don't see how we supposed to be black magic and excellence and freedom fighters and we're going to create the new generation and the new world when it's like we soft as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
We are not
It's
our
like-
ancestors. We are softer.
Right, dude. We really are. If our ancestors had the resolve of these cats now, we wouldn't have got anywhere, you know? We wouldn't have got anywhere because a manager would have talked down to you a certain way
Mm.
and a motherfucker be ready to like give up, you know? Or somebody touch your hair and you be ready to like throw everything out the window kind of thing. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
crazy. It's crazy. We go through so many waves, man. Cause I know, like, maybe the wave before us was you know what I mean, keep your head down, do what you gotta do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now, you know what I mean, it's like now I want y'all to respect my feelings or how you're offending me or whatever. Like it just I don't know, it's just weird, man. That's where we ended up at.
I get it. Like, I don't want to belittle the concept of microaggressions because
Mhm.
that shit is real, man. Like, I worked in like a rich white area, and the little comments and shit people do that you got to hear on a constant basis,
Yeah.
but you got to put on a smile. Like, you feel like you're shucking and jiving just because you're still smiling with these people.
Mm.
And they done said some goofy racial comment, or they're asking to touch your beard or some shit, you know, and you're like, I don't know if I should I be the angry ass dude, like get the fuck out of here, or
Yeah.
should I smile and brush it off, kind of thing, you know? So like, it's real. I get it, and it eats at your soul a certain way. But I do believe, like what you said, as far as kind of putting shit into perspective. And I think sometimes when you can ignore certain things that aren't important, or even develop a little bit of a callous towards it, I know it sounds weird, but it's just like, if I'm trying to survive, I got to figure out a way that works best for me, you know? So I'm either going to have to ignore stuff, not care about it, accept certain things, that kind of develop a callous towards it to where it just doesn't hurt as much anymore. You need something?
I think about that, Deuce, in respect to how I always talk about, like, if you have a goal, you can deal with more shit. You see what I'm saying? Because if you have a goal, that bad day ain't gonna throw you off as much. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Yeah.
us as a people, we don't have no fucking goal. So anytime anything either minute or, you know what I mean, macro happens, we react the same way. We don't know how to react because anything can throw us off our path because we don't really have a path. Like we're on a road, but we ain't got no fucking path. Like we're on a path with a bunch of fucking forks. Anything can throw us off. You see what I'm saying? But if we knew what the fuck we wanted as a people, all these little distractions won't really affect us. Like I ain't even gonna lie, dog. As much as I like this throw your shoes on challenge, it just always amazed me how black folks can jump on the most insignificant challenges so quick, but we always can't agree on anything. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like we can just like all these challenges we see. Like I mean, like so this is the first challenge. I'm like, yo, this shit is hilarious. And I fucking love it. But the rest of them, I fucking, it's fucking despicable, bro. It just shows how we can rally around fun shit. But we can't rally around what we want because we don't know what we want. And I think that's been the whole basis of our whole fucking show. We don't know what we want. We want freedom. We don't, like you always say, we don't know what the fuck freedom is. We just want better than what we got, I guess.
Wanted to be treated fairly. But dude, you said a couple things, and it made me think of two quotes, right? One, I think it's from a Japanese quote, but it says, I can endure any pain as long as it has a purpose, you know?
God damn.
And another quote is, to the rudderless boat, no wind is favorable, you know? So if you don't have like a direction, any way the wind blows, like it's never going to work in your favor because you don't have any kind of sense of your direction and purpose and where you're going, you know? And I feel like when you have a beaten people who no longer have a concept of freedom, all you do is have fun, you know? When we look at Black Boy Joy and Black Girl Magic, it's a lot of just fun, you know? Some of it is like entertainment. Some of it is like, oh, girls in STEM and she got accepted into 38,000 colleges and all of this cool stuff.
We're just happy we're just happy another black person is happy.
Yeah. And my thing is, we're happy somebody else is happy. And it's just like, you know, somebody will come on and be powerful because my happiness is my resistance and survival. Shut up, sis. I don't want all the poetics of power. I want an actual position of power, you know? And I don't want to go into the black men, they just want power so they can approximate whiteness or some shit like that. I want us to have a concept of freedom. You know, money will be a part of it, but there's more things to it. There's being a minimalist. I know people that live off the grid. I know people that have left the country. I know people that have reduced their kind of like footprint as far as like how much they need, you know? Like you got to figure out whatever freedom is, but you got to have a concept of it, man. I don't want no, I've been dealing with shit at work and I was just like, you know what? This is just telling me I really got to scale this business up another step because I don't want to do this shit. I don't want nobody giving me no problems and telling me what to do or whatever, you know? Like the little freedoms I've had, being able to kind of have an extra stream of income somewhat this year, I'm like, I'm ready to take this shit to the next level because I want to be independent, man. You know, just on the basic shit, look, if I own my home and have a way that I can work that's a business for myself and I could be location independent, and you don't have to be that. Like you can have a job where you do a service or a product that's like a physical thing, you know. But if you call the shots and you make the schedule, then you got a different level of freedom, you know. It's like my man Ian Dunlap on Market Mondays with the EYL guys. They'll talk about how many stocks or how much money you kind of need to kind of get your freedom, you know. And you know, the black intellectuals and be like, you can't buy your freedom because you're still in America. Look, man, racism ain't going nowhere. Sexism ain't going nowhere. So let's stop thinking we're just going to solve it. We're never going to get to utopia. It don't matter where you go, you're going to be a black person throughout the world, regardless. My thing is get free or die trying and try to make someplace more comfortable for me and my family. They ain't going to escape shit. You know what? But if they're comfortable and they can somewhat make some of their own rules, I'm cool with that. Like Harriet said, I came to provide a place for you, prepare a place for you. I'm trying to prepare something. You dig?
I ain't no genius. I ain't no. I understand. I ain't no serious motherfucker. Nobody special. I don't hold no weight in no medical community, but I have from experience. Learned a lot about this smoking shit. You know what I'm saying? And from living and being the type of nigga that smoked in the house my entire life, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That shit, you could tell it's thicker because it sit on the walls thicker. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a film on the wall when you smoke tobacco, when you smoke blunts and shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like that shit is just a lot thicker. tobacco itself is heavier on the lungs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I know.
like I said, I ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you, I lived long enough and through a lot of that shit that, you know what I mean? I believe my issues are from tobacco.
Okay.
And granted, I smoke cigarettes and shit.
Yeah.
So it's different, but it is the same.
Yeah, the head start on it. But
Yeah,
no, I mean, I have heard, you know what I mean, tobacco is, like if you're doing the health shit because of the weed, you're kind of curbing it because you're throwing tobacco right into it.
Right.
But
Which has absolutely no purpose.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You when last time you threw something in there, Mal?
Hella, a long time ago. It's been a minute.
And it's crazy because you was burning before I was burning.
Dude, damn. It's been a minute. Look, I call myself wanting to kind of like start back up. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try to just smoke a little bit, like, you know, like maybe I'll calm down, you know, get some of this anxiety and all of this stuff out, you know. And my wife actually got me some stuff for Christmas, right?
Yeah.
I call myself using a pen one time, thinking like, oh yeah, just like people,
Lightweight.
you know, puff and go to work. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Man, I had 2 pulls, bro, and I was geeking. In my first hour at work, I was like, I had to keep it together. I said, I don't know what I was thinking about. Like I was like, this was gonna be, because I see everybody else and it's all like casual, you know?
Yeah.
It's all like, yeah, man, I'm just talking, I'm chilling. Like, you know, like you right now, you just chilling, yeah, you know, yeah, what's up? I was like, I can't do this. No, I don't know.
You can't be a
I was like, how
member
y'all
of
do
society.
this?
Oh, man.
Second of all, people, like I said, you don't have to be married to be committed to a person. The shit is not fucking.
Hold on. See, I think that's the thing about it. Like, I didn't start this conversation saying that you had to be
He
married.
did.
Who did?
The other mall did.
You just said you had. Oh, my fault. Did you? My fault. Did you?
I said, if you're in a relationship, as long as me and Maul have been married to our women, but you're not married, that's a problem. And then he said, well, what do you mean that's a problem? And then here we go to him at Bank of America, and then
Yeah, like, I don't think nobody said that.
You said it's a commitment issue. And what I said is that ain't got nothing to do with commitment. I could be committed to a person and not want the courts in our business. Other ways that you get the same benefit. People get married because it's a business transaction. It's literally a coming together of funds in a legal sense of a way that you don't need.
I don't know whether it's because I'm sipping and I'm picking bad metaphors, but this shit reminds me of like another distraction.
Yeah. If you give a motherfucker the ability to have power over you by just saying that word, you've already lost.
Well, shit, while we're already in this ballpark, because in my notes I had a shit under niggas and bitches. Why do we still use that word? How do y'all feel about that word?
I will say
bitches is bitches and hoes is hoes, and it don't mean a woman is either of those.
We got bars?
Yo.
I mean, you know, this shit just come. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's
Bishop Don Juan Seuss out this bitch.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. Yeah, but it do go back to the whole, like, I think about it a lot with the show. Like, because of this show, we do a lot of talking. And I feel like, damn, I'm doing a lot of talking. Cause I think about a lot of the time when I talk about the whole fact that they the enemy, ain't nobody killing them, but we killing ourselves. It's not like, well, I see the same enemy, I ain't killing them.
But you ain't killing yourselves neither.
That's true.
So that's your progress.
Yeah.
Low bar, right? But
your progress.
I mean, but shit, goddamn.
Yeah,
that's your part, right? You doing your part as being a good black man to other good black men. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the shit even we be doing out there with the youngins on the football field. I be feeling like that's, you know what I'm saying? Progress, because they learning shit, you know what I'm saying? Whether they believe it or not.
And I always liken it to the fact that